Hello and welcome to Let's Learn English. Our lesson today is about relative clauses. Hello class. Our lesson today is about grammar, relative clauses. Okay, so we have already spoken about relative pronouns. What are relative pronouns? I have here some examples. The first one is who, which refers to people. The other one is which, animals and objects. Where refers to places. When speaks about time. Whose refers to possession. Why refers to reason, and that refers to either people, animals, or things. Now, what are relative clauses? Let's give a definition. Relative clauses are clauses starting with relative pronouns who, which, where, when, etc. They are most often used to define or identify the noun that precedes them. Okay, so let's repeat. Relative clauses are clauses. So what do you mean by a clause? A clause is a part of a sentence. Part of a sentence. يعني الكلوز هي جزء من الجملة، ماشي الجملة كلها، غير جزء من الجملة. هذا الجزء starting يعني كيبدا لنا بواحد relative pronoun. اوكي دونك عندنا جملة، جزء من الجملة كيبدا لنا بواحد relative pronoun بحال who ولا which ولا where. They are most often used to define. يعني علاش كنستعملوا هاد relative clauses؟ باش يعطيونا واحد لا ديفينيسيون، ولا باش يعرفونا ولا يعطيونا معلومات ولا يوصفونا الاسم the noun that precedes them، يعني الاسم اللي كيجي قبل منهم. Examples: the man robbed the bank. The man is in prison. Okay, so the man robbed the bank. Again, the man is in prison. Then here we have repetition of the word man, the man, and here the man. Then the man, we need a relative pronoun which refers to a person. Then it is who. Then we can relate sentence 1 and sentence 2 by using the relative pronoun who. And then we get the man who robbed the bank is in prison. We cannot say the man which robbed the bank because who refers to a person or two people. This is the cake. Mary made the cake. Okay, so in this example, we have repetition of the word the cake. This is the cake, and Mary made the cake. Then the word cake refers to something. Then we can relate the two sentences using which. This is the cake which Mary made. Which Mary made. Example number 3. This is the house where my son was born. Okay, this is the house. And I'm showing the house to someone. I say, this is the house. My son was born in this house. And then we can say, to avoid repetition, this is the house where, then the word where refers to a place or relates the place. Then we can get, this is the house where my son was born. Let's continue. Example number 4. The day when the concert takes place is Saturday. The day, then the day, it's clear that we're talking about time. The day, اليوم. The day when the concert والاحتفال المهرجان takes place، يعني اللي غيكون فيه اليوم اللي غيكون فيه المهرجان الاحتفال هو يوم السبت Saturday. Okay, example number 5. Example number 5. The boy whose phone has just rang should stand up. The boy whose phone has just rang should stand up. The relative pronoun here is whose. So whose is different from other relative pronouns because it refers to possession. Possession, la possession هي الملكية. The boy whose phone has just rang. يعني الولد الذي رن هاتفه. Whose phone has just rang. يعني الولد اللي صون التليفون ديالو شنو خصو يدير؟ should stand up. دونك هنا عندنا جوج ديال المعلومات. The boy should stand up. The boy should stand up. حاجة أخرى. The phone of this boy has just rang. اوكي دونك إلا بغينا نربطو الجمل بجوج شنو غادي نلقاو؟ The boy whose phone has just rang should stand up. Okay, now we move to types of relative clauses. Types يعني الأنواع ديال relative clauses. The first type is restrictive or defining relative clauses. Then we call them restrictive or defining relative clauses. They give essential information to define the person or thing we are talking about. يعني الوظيفة ديال هاد restrictive ولا نقدروا نسميهم defining relative clauses هو أنهم كيعطيونا واحد المعلومات مهمة essential important باش يعرفونا ولا يوصفونا الشخص the person أو الشيء اللي كنتكلموا عليه. يعني هاد relative clauses جد مهمة كتعطينا معلومات مهمة ضرورية. For example, children who hate chocolate are uncommon. What is the relative clause here? Yes, this is who hate chocolate. Children who hate chocolates. This clause, it defines the word children. يعني كتوصف لنا هاد children. شكون هما هاد children علاش كنتكلم؟ هاد الأطفال علاش كنتكلم؟ هما الأطفال اللي ما كيبغيوش الشوكولاتة who hate chocolate. So children who hate chocolate are uncommon. Okay. Another example. An elephant is an animal that lives in hot countries. Okay. What is the relative pronoun here? Yes, it is that. That. It is different from who, which, where, etc. because it doesn't start by a WH, let's say, letters, but also it is a relative pronoun. Okay, by the way, we can replace it by another relative pronoun, which is, yes, which. An elephant is an animal which lives in hot countries. An animal or an elephant is an animal which lives in hot countries. Okay, so here the word that describes the word elephant, okay, or animal. Okay, so what is this definition? It lives in hot countries. Let's carry on. The second type is non-restrictive relative clauses. Then we can also call them non-defining relative clauses. They give additional information and are separated by commas. So what is the difference between restrictive and non-restrictive relative clauses? Okay, the first one, they give essential information to define the person or thing we are talking about. يعني كيعطيونا معلومات ضرورية حول الشخص ولا الشيء اللي كنتكلموا عليه. بينما النوع الثاني non-defining relative clauses they give us additional يعني كيعطينا معلومات إضافية كيتكلموا لنا أكثر على داك الشخص ولا على الشيء اللي كنتكلموا عليه. ولكن حاجة اللي خصنا ننتبهوا لها هي they are separated by commas يعني كيكونوا مفصولين بفواصل. كاين فواصل. For example, John's mother who lives in Scotland has 6 grandchildren. What is the relative clause here? Yes, It is who lives in Scotland. Who lives in Scotland is called non-restrictive relative clause. Why? Because it gives us additional information about John's mother. Then we know that John's mother has 6 grandchildren. Okay. But what we don't know is that she lives in Scotland. Okay, John's mother lives in Scotland. Maybe John lives in another place. Okay, for example, he lives in let's say in England, but his mother lives in Scotland. John's mother, who lives in Scotland, has 6 grandchildren. Second example, we stopped at the museum والمتحف, which we had never visited before. We stopped at the museum. If I say we stopped at the museum, the meaning is clear. The sentence is correct. Okay, we stopped at the museum. But we have additional information, okay, done by the relative pronoun which. And then we have the relative clause which we had never. If I say we stopped at the museum, the meaning is clear. The sentence is correct. Okay, we stopped at the museum. But we have additional information, okay, done by the relative pronoun which, and then we have the relative clause which we had never visited before. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.